The plot to Companion is such a simple and honestly clever enough premise that to describe the most minor details would sound like I'm spoiling it even though I wouldn't be, so kinda sorta consider this a spoiler warning. If I liked the movie, I would have been more careful, but I didn't, so I won't. Anyways, Companion revolves around a girl named Iris, played by Sophie Thatcher, as she joins her boyfriend Josh, played by Zach Quaid, on a weekend getaway at their friend's mansion. But after a violent altercation with one of the guests, she makes the honestly not so shocking revelation that she's not only a robot, but is Josh's companion bot being manipulated for sinister reasons. So here's what I mean when I say it wasn't that surprising. I only saw snippets of the trailer with the sound off and the poster that revealed that she was a killer robot in some capacity, so technically I didn't know the overall plot, but in the first scene alone, her opening monologue that waxes poetic how she experiences life, her robotic way of delivering her lines, the fact that when she meets Josh, their encounter is so cartoonish and over the top. And once again, Zach Quaid has that fucking creeper face of his that no lady would look at and go, yeah, I'm gonna tell him my name, or I'd love to have coffee with you. I edit my own videos, I know exactly what that face looks like. And in the first conversation they actually have as a couple, she goes, do you remember the day we met? And I'm just sitting there going, well, it's the only context of the relationship we've actually seen, so yeah, it's clearly the only memory you have. And that's just in the opening scene alone. There are so many other tidbits, like when he tells her to go to sleep at night and it cuts away to the next morning, so she obviously shut down. All these things were so obvious to the point where the only thing I couldn't guess was, were the filmmakers even trying to hide the fact that she was a love bot? Because if so, they failed miserably. If they wanted us to figure it out early, in my opinion, they played their cards way too soon. And already with the amount of good reviews this is getting, I genuinely think people are confusing the less you know going in, the better mentality for the movie being clever, when in reality, it's just a simple, straightforward story. Now I will say this, the evil plan itself I did not see coming, and while I won't reveal what it is, it makes me mad I didn't like Companion. If the movie was just about that plan, you could get some genuinely disturbing imagery and ideas about how humans misuse technology for violent reasons, how that technology could become sentient and fight back. Is it equally justified? Things I'm pretty sure I haven't actually seen in a movie about artificial intelligence, but this isn't a horror movie and it's not that smart. It's a comedy thriller where there's only one sympathetic character while everyone else is a one-dimensional, irredeemable piece of shit, except when they're conveniently not. We'll kind of get into that later. That recycles themes, social commentaries from much older, better, and in one case even worse movies about sentient technology. And something else that I'll definitely get into later. Given that Iris is struggling to break free and control her own actions, it should be easy to root for her, but while I'm sure everyone will tell me that Sophie Thatcher is supposed to sound that flat, and I will say this, she's not as dull as she could have been. For starters, like I said, from the get-go, you can tell from her flat line delivery who and what she is from the beginning, so the suspense was already gone. And when she does actually take charge of the situation, it still looks and sounds completely lifeless. It's hard to fear for her safety or enjoy her revenge if it doesn't feel like she's actually experiencing those emotions, and by all accounts, it's clear that she can. That said, looking back on it, even if Thatcher gave a more regular performance, I'm still not sure we could have connected with her as a character to begin with, because her entire arc is all about analyzing what it feels like to experience emotions now that she realizes she's a robot, and aside from a couple moments where she steals her remote and plays around with her eye color, her pitch and tone of voice, things that actually affect her identity, something that I've never actually seen an artificially intelligent character do in a movie, that was probably the one thing that felt fresh and original. It's shit we've seen a million times where she gives a bunch of pseudo-intellectual monologues full of analogies I've already forgotten because they were written and acted in a lame way, or it just reminded me of something else. At least with stuff like Ex Machina, Her, or even AI, the robots had personalities and backstories that you could connect with. Whatever kind of person Iris thought she was, past memories that she thought were real, we never see, we don't experience, so we can't connect with her. And even though the villains in this technically give better performances, they have even less personality than Iris and are all defined by one basic trait. Harvey Guillén is gay guy. That's it. Because, you know, that's fucking empowering. His boyfriend, who I swear to God is meant to look exactly like Anton from Queer Eye, right down to the fact that he's a chef, is boyfriend. Up to a point. Again, more on that later. Megan Suri is the passive friend, and Rupert friend, who I was surprised was even in this and criminally underutilized, is just rich prick. Nothing else. If these guys were funny or diabolical, love-to-hate villains, I'd be fine with that, but they are saddled with lame, modernized as fuck comedic material that every time someone laughed in the theater, I struggle to understand why. Companion has one of those scripts that thinks characters repeating their dialogue is somehow funny or realistic. Shit. Yeah, Yeah, Xanax, Xani, who the fuck cares? Joshy boy. Seriously, not everybody talks like Ray Romano all the fucking time. Worst of all, for the sake of satire, I guess, the script makes them a bunch of bumbling idiots who, whenever they succeed, is based on dumb luck and coincidence. Meanwhile, every mistake they make, from leaving Iris alone in a room so she can escape, splitting up to find her, as soon as they have her pinned down and can kill her at any point, monologue about how they're going to kill her, which gives her time to kill them. That happens like twice, maybe 3 times, counting one particular scene. I don't know, that was kind of blurry. Makes it impossible to take these guys seriously as a legitimate threat to a fucking robot that can kill people. Obviously, there had to be holes in their plan in order for this to work, and if their mistakes were done in a Coen Brothers style fashion where it felt organic, that could actually be funny, but every mistake that Iris and the villains make in this is so fucking plot convenient, it's insulting. Hell, there's one point where Iris cleverly uses her automated voice in order to steal a self-driving car, which I actually thought was a really cool plan, but the second it's reported stolen and locked down, she for whatever reason forgets to use that voice to override it. But it's nowhere near as insulting as the climax where the people who built her actually arrive to reclaim her, and there comes a point where, minor spoilers, one of the other people is also a robot, and he has to roleplay as someone else. And the tech people, who should recognize him right away, just go, "Hey, you look kind of familiar. Have we met before?" And it isn't until the script demands it that the guy fucking recognizes him and go, "Oh yeah, we used to make models like that, but not anymore." Like, original filmmakers, my fucking ass. But easily the biggest disappointment in this movie was Jack Quaid's character. I really want to like this guy. He's clearly not a bad actor, and if he's a Quaid, it should be obvious at this point, but in my opinion, dude just does not pick good roles. Like, I haven't seen The Boys. Novocaine might actually be good. I could be wrong, but of the stuff I've seen, this is the worst performance I've seen from him, strictly because of the writing. Out of all the one-dimensional, toxic boyfriends that have been villains in recent years, because that's also what this movie is about, this is hands down the laziest example and explanation I've ever seen in my life. He is yet another man who thinks that the world is out against him, even though he can't explain how or why, is clearly an incel because he needs a robot to fuck him or have any girl appreciate him. Every advantage he's had over Iris is complete dumb luck when she can be more than capable of overpowering him at any point, yet he still has dominance over her. Then again, every disadvantage of his was just as unlucky. And it really hit me, between this and Justin Long's character in Barbarian, since it's made by the exact same people and dabbles in the same commentary, if you really want to call it that the filmmakers are only interested in exposing toxic males, ridiculing them at any given point, unless they're gay, because even though the gay couple is in on the evil plan, the script finds easy loopholes to overlook that, including one that blatantly disregards the rules on what robots can or can't do in this universe, rather than actually addressing where toxic masculinity comes from so that men can overcome it and become better people. At least with Justin Long's character, there was an exploration of the possibility of forgiveness and redemption that they completely intentionally butchered, which was a spit in the face in the audience, but again, the potential was there. In this movie, why does Jack Quaid think the world is out against him? Absolutely no idea. Has anyone tried helping him? No clue. Has he ever tried helping himself? Other than with his right hand, fucked if I know. The movie doesn't bother asking these questions because it clearly doesn't give a shit. But if you want to be taken seriously and have this message played out as realistic as possible, that should be your first fucking priority. But this is yet another example of a movie that's all about a woman overthrowing the toxic man, and that's it. A trend that honestly was a noble effort at first, but it's become less empowering statement and more a one-sided revenge fantasy with surface-level answers at best. I genuinely hate talking about movies that have toxic masculinity as the message, not because we shouldn't be talking about it, but because Hollywood writers just have no fucking idea what the solution is. They think slut-shaming men is the solution, and in case you haven't looked out the fucking window recently, it clearly isn't. So yeah, in my not-so-popular opinion, I didn't find Companion funny or scary. The themes of feminism and artificial intelligence we've seen decades ago in much better movies, and that's really all I got to say about this. I don't recommend seeing it. If you liked Barbarian, you probably will enjoy this too. If you're like me and found it overrated, you're not going to feel any different about this one. So with that, guys, thanks as always for watching. I don't know how you stuck all the way through on this one, but if you did, be proud of yourself. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Companion. Why did I fumble on that name? This is the kind of damage the movie's done to me. So before I lose my mind even further, be sure to like and subscribe. Check me out on Patreon, buy me a coffee. I'll see you in the next review. Bye.